Anyways, hello everybody, and welcome back to Katawa Shoujo. Last time we got through the prologue and started Act 1, Life Expectancy. This time we're going to continue. I think we stopped at the end of a day. I forget what just happened, but trying to think. I won't worry about it. Let's get back into it. I'm going to try to speak also slower, because that might be coming up on the thing. Because I talked too fast in the last one, so I'm going to try to slow my pace a little bit. Okay, and then maybe this place is too much like a normal school after all. And then Katawa Shoujo. I feel very tired this morning, probably because yesterday itself was a very tiring day. On top of that, I woke up far earlier than necessary. After saying hi to Shizune and Misha, I start doing the work as instructed from the board. It already looks like today is going to be heavy. I don't have a problem with that now, though. Shizune and Misha might jump on me trying to get an answer about whether or not I've decided to join the student council, even if it's just one day. I wouldn't put it past them to try, and I don't have an answer for them if they do, so this situation is convenient for me. Okay. About 10 minutes into class, Hanako walks in and takes a seat, but no one looks at her. The teacher doesn't even comment on her lateness. He does, however, stop us to say that we're going to break into groups again. I turn my head and see that Shizune and Misha are looking at me. Shizune gives me a smile that is equal parts cute and menacing. This is a smile that says, "We have you now. There is no escape."
Hey, John, looks like we're together again. Yay, yay!
Misha leans sideways while Shizune pushes her desk closer to mine. There really is no escape now unless I were to jump through the window. Jumping out the window isn't the best option, sadly.
What's wrong, Hee-chan?
Oh, Hee-chan, you've been thinking about what you said yesterday? You said that you would think about joining the student council, didn't you?
It's okay, Hee-chan. We were talking about it after you left, and it would be rude to expect you to already have an answer for it this early, right?
Right. I'm so happy you two are able to have a laugh at my expense, and even more pleased to know that you both know how crazy the two of you can be. Now that that's over, Shizune snaps back into serious mode and smacks today's assignment with the back of her hand in an overly dramatic and important way. When I actually look at the stuff, it's mostly just reading. In fact, there are only two problems. I almost want to say something about how her rush to get started seems a bit much, considering the small amount of work. In fact, Shizune probably knows how little there is and simply doesn't care. Yeah, it seems like the workload doesn't matter to her as much as the fact that there is work. The actual amount is unimportant. She approaches everything with the same level of ambition. While I'm reading, I let my eyes wander around the room and catch Hanako trying her hand at solving the problems. It looks like she's working alone. I can't remember seeing her working with other people before. Thinking back to how shy she is, it's understandable. Hey, that girl over there.
Huh? Who, Hee-chan?
Her, Hanako, over there. Does she always work alone?
I think so, Hee-chan. Do you feel sorry for her because she's alone?
I was just thinking that maybe she could work with us or something.
No, I don't think that would be a good idea, Hee-chan.
Why not?
Hee-chan wouldn't get along with her.
Why? Misha shuffles around the question, letting out a laugh that sounds very strange. It's nervous, but still has that lilting up and down quality present in everything she says.
Just because, Hee-chan.
By now, Shizune has noticed our conversation, and it makes me realize again how Misha has been signing everything she has been saying this whole time. Damn. Like, so even when Shizune is not looking.
What, Hee-chan? The friend of my enemy is my enemy?
That sounds so harsh. So harsh. That sounds so harsh over there. That sounds so harsh. I'm not going to say that. You said it anyway.
I know, Hee-chan. It's fine if you overhear.
I wonder if this is Misha's way of keeping things fair, since without her, I wouldn't be able to understand a thing Shizune is saying, and vice versa. Is that also why she signs all the time, so there is never a conversation Shizune will be left out of? Yeah. Why else would she do it? Anyway, we should start on the problems now, Hichan. It seems like Shizune has a problem with Hanako in some way or another. We finish with time to spare, and I decide to ask if there are any alternatives to the cafeteria, as frankly, the food so far has been subpar. This sends Shizune and Misha arguing among themselves about their favorite restaurants. All of them are downtown, so I don't think we have time to go all the way there. And what about the bill? Are they arguing just for the fun of it? Maybe. They seem so distracted by it that they don't even notice the start of the actual lunch break. I look over my shoulder towards the back of the classroom. She seems to be studying her notes from the previous class. It's an odd sight. Everyone else in the class is busying themselves with a lunch break. Socializing, gossiping, rearranging desks. The one with the actual box lunches mixed in chattering like everyone else, only interrupted by short bouts of eating. But when I watch Hanako, it feels that I'm the only one who can see her. Almost as if she was invisible, sort of hiding in plain sight. Is she being bullied? Is she isolating herself from the rest of the class on her own accord? I see her look over her shoulder towards the classroom's rear door. Come to think of it, she hasn't turned a page since I've started watching her. I guess she's waiting for someone. What to do? Let's go talk with her. I want to get to know her. I don't like when people are just alone. Because that's me most of the time. I still feel bad for making her run away yesterday, so I'd better say something. Hey there, Hanako.
Yourself?
Well, at least she remembers my name. Hey, I just wanted to apologize for yesterday. I didn't mean to startle you or anything. I'm just new here and I thought I should get to know my classmates. Aww, she's so cute! Oh my god. As Hanako looks up at me, I notice her scarring once more. God damn it, phone. It's a little bewildering that you can barely notice it from across the room, but it's so noticeable from close up. Oh, and she's got it on her hands too. Damn.
That's okay. It was my fault.
Nah, that wasn't anyone's fault. It just kind of happened. So are you waiting for someone? I saw you looking at the door before.
Yes, Lily.
Oh, you mean Lily the blind girl? Hanako only nods in response, and I can't help but wonder if defining people through their disabilities is a faux pas of the worst kind, or just normal here. I guess that explains why Lily took off after yesterday. She seemed like a nice girl. Are you two friends?
Yes.
As if hoping for Lily to appear, she checks over her shoulder again. I think I'm making her nervous again. I hope I'm not disturbing you right now.
No, that's not it. It's just easier if Lily doesn't come here.
Oh, because it's hard to get around the classroom?
Not really.
Hanako's gaze drifts past my shoulder and towards Shizune. Okay, so it seems it's Shizune and Lily that have the problem, and that because Hanako likes Lily, that Shizune is like, nope. But that doesn't seem like a Shizune thing to do, but... Shizune? Hanako nods again. What about her? Don't they get along? Hanako shakes her head. Clearly this is something she doesn't want to talk about. It does make a strange sort of sense, Shizune and Lily not getting along so well. One blind, the other deaf. Communication between the two would be all but impossible. It's hard enough talking to Shizune through Misha, even when you can see whose hands are talking. I mean, I guess it wouldn't be too bad, though. It would just be... I don't think it would be that impossible. You just have to have Misha there no matter what. Because then Lily could say something, Misha could translate it to Shizune, Shizune could sign it back. It would just be a lot more work. Hanako is so focused on Shizune that I'm the first to notice Lily at the door. Oh, she's here now. Hanako spins around to confirm this. Upon seeing Lily, she moves quickly to the door.
Lily. Hanako. Good morning. Is the president here? Yes.
Hanako glances over her shoulder at Shizune again, as if to confirm she can't hear them even though that's impossible.
I suppose we'd best be off then.
Lily's sigh and tone of what seems like frustration makes me raise an eyebrow. I guess there's some sort of enmity between the two, and Lily is not so oh, really? Lily does not seem like the type that would have a problem with anyone, but maybe she's a bitch inside. It's like, we only wear pink on Wednesdays. It's intriguing, but that's really something I'd ask about. I'm sure if they wanted me to know, then they would tell me. It's only my 3rd day here. I should be trying to make friends, not finding out what people are enemies. True that. Don't get involved in that drama, Hisao. Still, it's a little funny to find out that this school has little feuds, just like my old high school. It's a high school. It's everything. Yeah, even if people are more tolerant of others, they're still gonna get on each other's nerves. Hey Lily, how are things? I'm sorry I made you run off yesterday. Oh my, is that Hisao? I didn't realize you were here. It seems that Lily is so a little embarrassed about being so frank in front of me. Sorry, Lily, I thought you realized. No, it's all right, Hanako. Hisao, please don't worry about yesterday. It was just a misunderstanding. If you say so, I'm still working this place out. Well then, I think you'll find most people here are a lot more forgiving than elsewhere. If you are feeling a little confused, please don't be afraid to ask questions. Sure, I'll remember that. Lily... Lee gives a small nod of acknowledgement. I'm sorry, Hisao, but we must be off. Hanako really doesn't look all that comfortable here right now, and Lily still seems a little embarrassed. I wonder if my apologies really made any impact. Mind if I accompany you two? I know I'm kind of pushing it, but Lily comes quietly, still smiling. I'm sure that we could accommodate you, can't we, Hanako? She looks at Lily, then at me, and then she freezes, and then looks at me. Look at your girl, now back to me. Now look at your girl, now back to me. Freeze, wide-eyed. Sure. Well then, shall we go? I'm sure Lily wouldn't do this so easily if she saw how scared Hanako looks, but it can't be helped now. Declining after the deal is sealed would only cause confusion and problems. So we leave all three together, just like abandoning Shizune and Misha, like getting away from them. They don't know they don't know where they're talking about. They're just arguing. Lily walks beside the wall, letting her cane gently tap against it every now and then. Hanako comes along right beside her, so close that she's practically half hugging her as they go. Although it must make her walking that much harder, Lily takes it in stride. As we turn around the corner of the hallway, something hits me in the chest with the force of a steam train. Hanako shrieks a little and my vision briefly goes black. Oh my. Oh, hello. Opening my eyes, I see a pair of saucer light green eyes looking up at me. Oh, hi. They belong to the perpetrator, a short girl who bumped into me and now has fallen down into the hallway floor. She wears a PE uniform and a very worried frown. The former strikes me as a rather strange thing to have on during lunch break. More striking than that, though, is that she doesn't have legs. Or she does, but they're not flesh and bone. Her pale and very much flesh and bone thighs and shins and feet made of some black metallic or plastic-like material. They look disturbingly artificial and unnatural. It almost makes me forget that my chest is hurting. The girl winces a little, rubs her nose, and jumps up. Oh man, hey, are you alright? I'm sorry about that, really. I wasn't looking where I was going and you just came out of nowhere. Sorry. She's looking really apologetic in the hurt puppy way of looking apologetic. I quickly forget being angry or anything, since hurt puppies are my weak spot. It's okay, don't worry about it. Ooh, I say that, but there's a stinging pain growing in my chest, and I know that this is about the biggest possible danger for my condition. Don't overexert yourself, don't forget your medication, and most of all, don't get hit in the chest. I try to rub my solar plexus to chase the pain away, holding my breath in an attempt to hear my heartbeat. Oh no, this is not good. It seems normal. Hey, should I get a nurse? The worried, high-pitched voice of the girl snaps me out of it. I stare at her for a few seconds, dumbfounded, until I realized that I probably looked worse off than I really was, doubled over myself and looking all tense. Damn, I'm overly worried about my heart. No need. I'm fine. You're not fine, boy. Come on. Let's go to the fucking nurse. Come on. I don't want this happening and be like, oh, because you got hit in the chest that one time and that other time, you're gonna have to stay in bed for the rest of your life. No, just Do the right thing, boy. Imagining to say something in response, I pull myself upright, feeling my sore ribs one last time, and take a deep breath. She just knocked the wind out of me, big time, but it's nothing more than that. Okay, it better not be. You sure you're okay? I hit you pretty hard. It's okay. I said I was fine and nothing's broken. No harm done. That's good. Hisao, what happened? She's not quite up to speed for obvious reasons, but she sounds very worried. More than what the situation deserves, really. Someone just bumped into me, nothing serious. Just winded. Sorry, it's my fault. I was just going to get some stuff and I was in kind of a hurry. That someone here is Emmy, isn't it? The little girl coughs quietly and shuffles her plastic or metallic feet, looking down at them before saying anything. Hi, Lily. Hanako. I guess the girls know each other. Do please try to be more careful. You might be sturdy enough to endure these sorts of accidents, but there are people who aren't. The girl blushes and starts to fidget nervously like a little child caught misbehaving. It's so cute, I find myself smiling. I know that. I was just... I gotta go. The teacher will have my head. I promised to help with printouts, but I went running instead. Sorry, but I've got to change and everything. Before any of us can say a thing, Emmy has already bolted away, leaving the hallway eerily quiet. Did that kind of thing happen often around here? There are more rules in Yamaku than usual for running in corridors. But that barely stops Emmy, it seems. She shakes her head weakly and offers a slight, composed smile. I don't think that there's anything we can do to stop her, I'm afraid. Shall we be off, then? Lily heads off along the hallway and Hanako hurries after. The route to the room the two used for tea is fairly simple to retrace, being still fresh in my mind from yesterday. Lily and Hanako quickly go about the business of making... Ooh, they make lunch. Nice. Before I can even open my small bag of food, I thought you said you didn't have food. You were like, I don't want to go to the cafeteria again. Do you... You confused me, boy. Before I can even open my small bag of food, Lily's busying herself with her thermos and tea bags as Hanako is setting up both their lunch boxes. So, is this what you meant by coming here almost every day? Yes, Hanako and I usually have lunch here. It suits both of us, so we end up using this room regularly. After seeing Hanako's reactions to me over the past couple of days, I can understand why that is a boon. That, and Lily being able to get some quiet away from her class as well. I take my seat last after Lily's poured the tea for us and sits down. The more time I spend with these two girls, the more I think they're a perfect foil to Manisha and Suzune. Even without a voice, Shizune is direct and brash, and Misha seems to get along with everyone. On the other hand, Lily is soft-spoken and relaxed, while Hanako seems to be the shyest girl I've ever met. So, how are you faring in Yamaku, Isao? You seemed a bit flustered before. Apart from getting lost every now and again and being crash-tackled outside my classroom, fine, I guess. You looked pretty hurt before. Are you really okay? For a brief moment, I considered telling Hanako and Lily about my condition, but then I hold it back. I can't tell why, but for some reason I feel uncomfortable talking about it to these relative strangers, even if they have been pretty friendly. Yeah, it's nothing. I was just a bit startled. Judging from the two girls' expressions, I don't think that they're buying it. But when I assume it's their way of respecting my privacy, they don't press the matter. I guess that is one of the unwritten rules around here. Don't ask. Even if people's conditions are obvious, like Hanako's, there's still bound to be a story involved. Everyone has things that they don't feel comfortable speaking about, and I think everyone here recognizes that. Yeah, it's like, you have that in real life, but even here it's like, there is something, at least for a lot of people, noticeably not comfortable speaking about, but so it's even more of the fact, like, don't ask people. It's kind of bringing a secret out into the light. It's very interesting. But I think it definitely does make people a lot more empathetic, because you know that everyone else has a problem just like you, and like you know that you don't want to be asked, they don't want to be asked. So I think it's a pretty nice place in general. So how long have you been in this school? You both seem to know your way around pretty well. Well, I've been here since the start of high school, but only moved into the dormitories a year ago.
Hanako joined at the start of high school as well and moved to the dormitories when she did, if my memory serves me right. That's right, since high school. So you've known each other since then? Since I moved, yes. Hanako lives next door to me, so it's only natural, right? Right. Yeah, of course. Living next to someone is probably reason enough to befriend them, though I'm guessing that Lily's blindness played a part in it as well. I can't imagine Hanako easily making friends with someone who has to deliberately avoid looking at her scars. That is true. With the immediate conversation dried up, we start to eat our lunch. It isn't long before the bells are signaling the end of the break. Like me, the girls pack up their lunches as efficiently as they set them out. I guess I'd better be off. Are you going to go with Hisao, Hanako? Hanako looks up at me, and for a second I can see that she's considering skipping class, maybe just to avoid walking into the classroom with me. No, Hanako! Yes. I don't know what to think of it. Hanako really is delicate to the point of breaking if looked at in the wrong way. It makes me a bit nervous too, but I push the feeling aside, trying to be as natural as I can. We should hurry then. Class has already started by the sound of it. Lily gives a nod of farewell as she bends down to take her cane, Hanako and I filing out before her. We walk quickly down the empty halls to our respective classes. As we reach the door to Lily's 3-2 classroom, she turns toward me. Hisao, thank you for sharing lunch with us today. My pleasure, Lily. And with that, we part ways. Lily entering her classroom and leaving Hanako and me to make off to our own. She's still looking like she wants to run away. So, do you really want to go back to class now? Yes. Okay then. I feel like I should say something more to her, but it's hard to come up with anything that would be appropriate and safe enough. And Lily was right. The more time we spend out here, the more explaining we have to do. I open the rear door to the class and walk in. The teacher looks up at me and opens his mouth to say something. However, as Hanako follows me in and closes the door, he simply nods to us and continues his lecture. This is the third time that Hanako has had her truancy practically ignored. There's definitely something going on there. We make our way to our seats, and I notice that Misha and Shizune are both missing as well. I wonder if it is some sort of informal agreement with the staff, or if it's a perk afforded to the unique students at the school. Trying to make as little disturbance as I can, I extract the relevant textbooks from my bag and start catching up. The class goes on quietly. The teacher seemed like an okay person, despite the weird first impression I got, and the material is relatively interesting. However, the way he teaches is really bizarre. It's as if he expects that everyone is a natural genius. I've had teachers like that before. It's like, why don't you don't get it? Why don't you get it? When the final bell sounds, I realize that there is still a lot of time left in the day, and I'm left wondering what to do. It's odd, at the hospital I had 24 hours a day of free time, but here filling the considerably shorter hours feels difficult. Everyone else leaves and I'm left alone with the teacher. Moto is examining the assignment sheets we were working on earlier, marking them with a red ball pen. Raising his eyes from his papers briefly, he notices me and furrows his brow. What is it, Nakai? I jump at him addressing me, but I guess it's natural to spark some conversation since there's nobody else around. Nothing. Thinking about what I'd do after school. The teacher slowly puts the cap on the pen he's holding and arranges his papers into a stack, clacking it against the desk twice. He seems very methodical, and for a brief moment I'm reminded of Shizune, but the teacher is more unhurried and relaxed, much more routine. You have no plans? No, I consider joining a club, but don't know what kind of club would interest me. Go observe a meeting of someone else's club. Might pique your interest. I guess. But I don't know how to continue from there. Moto looks at me in a way that it makes me quickly want to take the words back to avoid a conversation. But I can't, so I have to forge ahead. I just don't know how to deal with people. I mean, the other students. I'm talking to people and everything, so it's not that I'd be isolated or anything. I just don't know what to think about the disabilities. It's like, it feels that I'm being impolite if I pay attention to them, and it's weird to ignore them. Damned if I do, damned if I don't. The teacher scratches his cheek absent-mindedly, looking very unresponsive. These things are only an issue if you make them one. You can talk normally with someone even if they're blind or something. Try to look behind the superficial. There's not a single student here who isn't just a normal kid behind whatever they may seem on first glance. He says the same thing as Yuka did. I know they're right, but it's hard. How can you not consider, for example, Shizune's deafness when the only way to communicate with her is to talk through Misha? Well, I don't know, but you can notice that she's like brash and like that. Like, yeah, you have to notice it, but you don't have to make it a point, you know? Or Hanako, it's not like you can ignore her face. Yeah, you don't ignore it, you just get used to it, I guess. But I'm interrupted by the door of the classroom suddenly slamming open. Teacher! Misha crashes in, hands straight in an enthusiastic greeting. That was a very hard line for some reason. Her voice loud and lively enough to wake the dead from their graves. She starts towards the teacher's desk with her bouncing step, hands energetically swinging with the rhythm. Moto, visibly dismayed at the interruption, and Misha in general, slumps in his chair. Mikado. Misha stops in her tracks and looks around cluelessly, as if she's sensing from his tone that something's wrong, but has no idea what. Yes? We have talked about volume control before. Yes! But she doesn't lower her voice at all, and the teacher just rubs his eyes. So, what is it? We need help. We're running out of supplies for the festival stands. This is a distress. She waves a pink slip of paper she's holding around. So, go get more supplies from the art room. What's the problem with that? Plywood. Plywood is always the problem. Last time we wanted more, there was only a little, but that time we just took it all and went with that. Now there's like none left there, so do you know where there is some? I don't understand. How would I know? Shichan, I mean the president, thought that a teacher would know if there's plywood. Was she wrong? Mono looks like he's in great pain and frowning with his entire essence, and Misha doesn't get it at all. Looking at the two of them communicate is terrible, like looking at a man being tortured by drilling his skull open while blasting pop music at full volume at the same time. I'm afraid I have no idea if there's any plywood in the school, let alone where it would be if there was any. Aww, what should I do? Perhaps try to find Mr. Nomiya? I'm quite sure he would know where to find everything you need. You'd have to pry them from his cold dead hands, but that's a different matter. I don't have time, we're so busy! She holds her head with both of her hands, looking as despairing as possible for a person like her. Without even noticing, she crumples the note she's holding against her hair. I shouldn't even be fetching these things, there's so much to do and we're falling behind the schedule! Moto looks at her gravely and then suddenly smiles. Smiling doesn't really fit his face. I think it'd be better if he didn't. Don't be happy. I wonder if you can get some temporary help. He switches to staring at me focusedly, with a hard expression as if trying to say, go make some friends. I guess I can give you a hand? You can? Thanks, Hichan. You are really nice. She pauses, does a double take, and then points at me with her finger, yelping, ah! And looking very puzzled. Oh. Come to think of it, what's Hichan doing here? Class is over. You should be having fun. We just had a little chat. Oh, no. It's not detention, is it? Are you in trouble, Hichan? No, I'm not. Is Hichan in trouble, teacher? No, he's not. Misha. Moto sighs deeply, and I feel that I have to help Misha to get her off the teacher's back. So, what do you need? Here's a list. I can try to find the plywood from somewhere if there's none in the art room. She offers me the note she's holding. I take it, hesitating a bit. I said I'd help you, but this has no implications on whether I'm joining the council or not. Aww. Still, thanks, Hichan. Try to be quick. We are on a stall-building streak now. We must hurry, hurry, hurry. She bounces out of the classroom, leaving me and the teacher looking at each other with something that feels like a silent agreement. Well, there you have it, Nakai. You have something to do now. Please don't sound so smug. Looking at the list with a number of items ranging from paint to plywood, all written with small, neat handwriting that is undoubtedly Shizune's, I heave a sigh. I'll be going then. Waving the long list limply at the teacher, I exit to the hallway.